that we should not busy ourselves with finding the mistakes. Ya akhwa, this is golden advice. This is golden advice. When you have a alim, a person of ilm that comes and he shows the mistakes, he's a alim, he's a person of knowledge, he comes and he studies the matter and shows the mistakes, fine. In order for people to do what? To avoid these mistakes. Our Shaykh, Sulaiman al-Hayni, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala preserve him, when he went to Indonesia and he started talking about individuals, he said, we might be talking about people that would enter into Jannah. But we're not talking about their person. We don't want them as a person. We're just talking about the mistakes, and we want to avoid them. We want to know the mistakes and that this is not the correct way, and we want to avoid these mistakes. As for them, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they have their hisab with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Look at how the ulama, they approach these things. So you have an alim that might show the mistakes and might show, and so on and so forth. But for us, ya ikhwa, to go and to track and go through what people are saying in order to show their mistakes and so on, and neglect, in this way, ya ikhwa, as a student of knowledge, you have neglected ilm itself. And you're only indulging in this. And we have people like this nowadays. They're only indulging in these things, and they have no ilm. They didn't even start seeking ilm in the first place. And this is a huge mistake as a student of knowledge. You should know this and realize this. The asl, ya akhwa, that you should be totally focused on and all of your time is upon and effort and so on is what? Is seeking ilm. The asl itself, Islamic knowledge, the deen of Allah Azza wa Jal, your amal in the hereafter, Jannah and the hellfire. Not this person and that person. Not this person and that person. But if knowledge reaches you regarding a certain person and you see a mistake, you say, this is my knowledge. I know that there is a mistake, and so on. Understood? Barakallahu feekum. And sometimes, a person comes to you. What do you say about so and so? You say, wallahi, I do not know. I have seen some things here and there. There is a question mark. According to my knowledge, I'm not sure about the person. I'm confused about him. There's a question mark. In regard to me, in my knowledge, I could be ignorant. He says, you don't recommend seeking ilm from him? Yes, of course I don't recommend seeking ilm, but it could be because of my ignorance. I do not know. How can I recommend someone I do not know? He says, what is your evidence for this? I want you now to go and look up his mistakes and what did he do, or whatever you're going to say is what? Is dhulm and is subhanallah. How is this the case? Instantly you realize the person that is talking to you doesn't know what he's talking about. He's indulging in something that is not his to begin with. Not his to begin with. He shouldn't be speaking about this in the first place. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I didn't come and speak about this person. You asked me. I was asked. I only spoke according to my knowledge. If I'm ignorant, teach me. If I did not know, then we put the criteria. So according to my knowledge, I could be ignorant. Or you say, this is what I know, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. Or you say, I do not know. And from the sicknesses that a student of knowledge, since we're talking about the subject nowadays, and we should talk about it, from the sickness nowadays is what happened to our brother, Zishan rahimahullah ta'ala. You must have an opinion. No, I mustn't have an opinion. I'm telling you, I don't know. You should have an opinion. No, only an ignorant person must speak about everything and must have an opinion regarding everything. This is instantly, when you see someone who has an opinion about everything and speaks about everything, then you label him as ignorant. We're generally speaking. We say the person who's like this is an ignorant person. A knowledgeable person, he knows that there are things he does not know, therefore he shouldn't speak about. And therefore, this is the nasiha, ya akhwa, that our Shaykh has given. That don't be influenced by your students as well, or your family, or but you must, I told you he indulged in this and that. You might be a liar, you might be mistaken, you might be misinformed. And sometimes you might trust a person and then in the end he was mistaken. And therefore now we are mistaken because of that. So a knowledgeable person should do what? Should not be hasty. Only speak according to your knowledge. I do not know, it means I do not know. But this and that, it is not obligatory upon me now to accept what you have said. So investigate it yourself. No, I have better things to do. I have the deen of Allah Azza wa Jal and ilm itself. It's not mandatory upon me to investigate this person, whether he's a alim or shaykh or a student of knowledge or whatever. Ya akhi, there are ulama and the ulama are known. Go and seek ilm. If there is harm and benefit in a certain person, then go to the ulama and talk to them about this person and explain everything to them. And they are ulama. Speak to the ulama themselves. You see how this is now, ya akhwat? See how easy this is now? And this is the safest thing to do. This is the safest thing to do. Other than that, you might be the transgressor. You might be the person who falls into a mistake. You might be the person who says something without ilm. You might have oppressed your brother by saying so and so. And therefore, ya akhwat, it is a good thing. It is a good thing to reach out to a person. I remember I heard some of the brothers talked about a certain individual. And I told them, reach out to him. So they did not know, and we don't know. I said, Wallahi, I reached out to this person, and he is amazing. He would take you with an open heart and open arms and says, teach me and give me my mistake. And yes, and tell me, what did I do wrong? And should I say it publicly and retract it publicly? If this is his case, speak to him. No. They want you to warn against him. And they want to make him a mubtadi'. And if you don't agree with them, you are a mubtadi' yourself. And, la, ya akhwa, it's not like this. It's not like this. Understood, barakallahu fikum? It's not like this. Also, you have to have patience. And you have to be wise about things. And try to reach out to your brothers. And try to reach out to certain brothers. And know what you're talking about. And not indulge in things aimlessly and blind. Okay, barakallahu fikum? And get to know that a person speaks according to his knowledge. Because he will be asked about what he's going to say on the day of judgment. Okay, barakallahu fikum? And today's lesson is extremely important. And the advices that Al-Allama bin Uthaymeen has given are so important. And I still say, do not take it out of context. Don't bring someone who is a mubtadi' and calling to his bid'ah and so on. Or a sectarian person or whatever it is, yani known, sometimes named by the ulama themselves. Not just one alim, huh? Because it's not binding to follow one alim. Especially when there are other ulama that disagree with him. La a'udhu billah. And this borders on the borders of bid'ah in itself. There's nobody that is a ma'soom, as Imam Malik rahimahullah ta'ala said. طيب. So, Imam Malik said, كل يؤخذ من قوله ويرد إلا صاحب هذا القبر. Everyone is you can take from what he says and you can reject what he says, except for the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So don't apply this to these. We're talking about, the Shaykh is talking about alim. We have an alim that has fallen into some mistakes, and he's known to be truthful and upon the sunnah. So this is the criteria, as the Shaykh said. And also there is something that is extremely important that I will repeat because you might not have paid attention to. The Shaykh is saying, even if someone has fallen into a mistake and has fallen into that which is wrong, advise him. Sometimes the advice might affect the person. Advise him. Give advice. Don't fight him. Don't fight him and start causing problems with him. Advise him. And advice, ya ikhwa, should be sincere and should be to rectify the person and not to, I'm advising you, so now afterwards I'm going to do what? I'm going to label you and cuss you in public. This is not what is meant by advice. Advice is, I am advising you so that I gain the reward, inshaAllah azza wa jal, that you see the truth and you start acting upon the truth. So now your evil has gone away. You start rectifying and the harm is being now what? Prevented and pushed away. And now you are rectifying the mistakes and mending the harm and so on, so that there is benefit now. And I take the ajr, inshaAllah, tabaraka wa ta'ala. So I advise you, in order to rectify that which is wrong, for the sake of the person himself and for the sake of Allah azza wa jal, to get rewarded and so on. And if the person, he has people that listen to him and so on, now it is muta'addi. The benefit is muta'addi now. So this should be the intention. The intention is not, I'm going to tell you this is right and you are wrong, so now I'm going to label you and criticize you and cuss you and do this and do that. And this is not the point, ya ikhwan. This is the point that there is a sickness in your heart. You warn because there is a benefit. Even when you want to warn, there is a benefit, so that people don't think that this is the truth. Not because you have a desire, a shahwa, a lust in your heart, and you just want to, and you think this is the deen of Allah azza wa jal. No, and there are youngsters that are falling into this. La. What is meant is the deen of Allah azza wa jal, and for the sake of Allah. Therefore, Al-Allama Rabi' ibn Hadi al-Madkhali, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala preserve him, he said that he was, our Shaykh Falah tells us about, told us about this in videos and YouTube and so on. He said that the Shaykh Rabi', for 10 years he was patient regarding a certain person, and then he started warning publicly. Nowadays it doesn't even take 10 minutes. He's kept on advising him for years, so he might what? Take it back and rectify himself. So we should understand these things, barakallahu fik. We should understand. I'm not telling you to wait 10 years, but we're saying we should take these things into consideration and see the way of the ulama and see what they say and see the criteria that they have and realize our place as well as little students of knowledge or someone that just started seeking knowledge. Your goal is to seek knowledge, not to indulge in these things. Therefore, Shaykh Al-Allama Falah, Mundakar, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala preserve him, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy on him. He said what? He said, these matters, the last thing that a student of knowledge indulges in. Meaning what? You should be a student of knowledge first. You should concentrate on ilm and become a student of knowledge, and then this is the last thing you indulge in. Subhanallah. The last thing you indulge in, because it needs a lot of knowledge. It needs, as you see, it is convoluted, it has many, and it's like a web, it's entangled and so on. So it has to have patience and it has to have actual knowledge of the matter, of the situation, of the person himself, reaching out to the person, knowing his condition, and so on and so forth. So these are the things that, not me speaking about, I'm actually tackling everything that the Shaykh was talking about here. These are the things that the Shaykh Al-Allama bin Uthaymeen spoke about here. He mentioned all of these things, by the way. So we are doing what? We are taking them one by one. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala أعلى وأعلم. Do we have time or did we pass the time today as well?